Are we on?
Yeah. Hey.
Hello. Hey.
Hey, you're very, very kind of you guys to wait for us.
For a fucking hour. Jesus.
It's only an hour.
Christ. We've been here for a while, just working on some technical stuff. As you noticed, our little video thing here. What's this called again?
What?
The stuff right
Oh,
here.
like the overlay?
Yeah, the overlay. There you go. The layover, whatever you call it. It's
overlay
different
in
now.
our app and shit. Yeah.
We got a couple of little nice graphics now for
my
our
camera's
video.
not as like glitchy as it was, or it was like really low frames. I think before. It's not as bad now.
Yeah, we fixed it up a bit. Not
And
to
I
mention
think
we also have some news. Funny that we worked on the video aspect of our thing, and now we've become more of a podcast. We're finally available on iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Yeah. So
well, Spotify's a little fucked up because for Spotify, we changed the URL where it was pointing to, so now there's 2 3/4 guards in there. So I'm hoping is when but for that other file, that RSS file, I've removed it. So hopefully what I'm hoping is that next time they check it, they see it's not there, and then they just delete the old one. Otherwise, I have to contact them to get them to remove it.
well, for now, if you want to find us on iTunes and Google Play,
I mean, you'll find us on Spotify, but you'll find the new one and the old one.
cool.
So there's 2.
What's the difference between both of them? Just is there any spelling or anything like that difference?
No, they both have the same episodes and the name's the same.
Okay. Well, starting from last week's episode, we are now on these podcasting platforms.
And officially, we're keeping track of our episodes. This is episode 26.
Is it?
So we hit our quarter of 100.
Technically, it's like
last
29 because we forgot to record 2, and then I'm sure there was like one loss in some sort of like scuffle once.
No. Well, the ones that we didn't record, I don't think. So it'd be like,
It's like
27, 28.
28, something like that. Yeah,
Or
whatever.
28, 29, something like that. Yeah.
Unofficially or officially, whatever you call it. This is episode
This
26.
is the unofficial that we have records of. So.
Yes, and you can catch episode 25, last week's episode, on one of these streaming formats. We gotta make news about this stuff, so we'll put it up on our like social media and crap like that. But yeah, this week, not too much fights going on this week, at least not in the big scheme of UFC, Bellator, big MMA promotions. But we did have Bare Knuckle fighting this weekend with what some people call the GOAT of our generation, the Siberian Express.
#1 fighter in my book.
Artem Lobov. Jesus.
Yeah, the Russian Hammer.
Your book is very small.
Yes, that's correct. Anyway.
Is he? I thought he was the Siberian Express. Is he the Siberian
no, it's
Express?
the Russian Hammer.
He called himself the Siberian Express, or somebody called him the Siberian Express.
That sounds stupid.
I don't know. That's what they called him, the Siberian Express, and then somebody called him the Russian Hammer.
Publicist, so.
Well,
Anyway.
really, all right. Well,
But yeah, it's well, actually no, pull this up. But yeah, we had a couple of names in there. Artem Lobov versus Jason Knight. Jason Knight, I think, was also in the UFC for a little bit. Had a short stint in the UFC.
yeah, he was in there I think, for like a
Chris
little bit
Lieben.
in featherweight.
Holy
Holy shit, their faces have seen better days.
Yeah, we should.
They got mangled the
We should
fuck
also have
up.
something that pulls up the
Yeah,
like some little things in here. Actually, I guess we could do that. It's not gonna
what's that?
kill us here. If
you
we
just
add like a little video.
Oh, that's
Actually,
crazy.
no,
Look at
let's
that. We
make
could just
this-
manually put things up now.
Let's close other tabs for now.
All this
What
technical
we'll
work is
do-
being brought to you by Eamon Tierney.
We'll do video. No, not video capture. A window.
This is all being done live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we like to do things on
Unfortunately,
the
if you
fly.
listen to us, yeah.
Oh, they're
we
seeing.
do that live.
You guys are seeing this all, aren't you?
Just saying everything right now,
Okay.
aren't they? Oh,
Wait, why is it black?
it's all up in my face.
Oh, okay, that's not what I wanted to move.
Oh.
All right, Jesus Christ. We'll be a little more prepared next time, I swear.
Oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
something's getting worse. That makes it smaller.
Yeah, but where is it? Why is it black?
Because you don't have a video on.
No, it's not a video. It's just a window. It's
Oh,
supposed to be the Google window.
you show up in a window in there,
Well,
and suddenly Pornhub came on.
that would be. Oh wait, did
Something
it work?
opened.
No, it didn't work. Never mind.
Something opened. No, that's just our background. Oh,
That's
this
weird.
is
All right, you know what? Well, okay, that's not happening. Anyway, what I was going to show you guys was the what do you call it? The just some highlights or pictures of these guys' faces that were
Jesus.
worse for wear.
They were all mangled up and shit. Yeah.
So
I have a photo of it.
We'll have that ready next week. I'll do that. I'll have something where you can do a little like picture-in-picture, like a.
Well, this is
videos or browser.
This is Artem's face. If you guys can, the camera comes back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me. I'm the one that's talking. Wow. See, you got to put that sensitivity up a little bit. Hello. Yep, it's not coming back to me. Nope. Yeah, I don't know what's happening now. Oh, there we go. That's Artem's face. Fucked up. And then, hold on, I think I have Jason Knight's face. Oh, Jesus. Actually, that's both of their faces, so here's both of them. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what bare knuckle boxing does to you. Hope that paycheck was worth it. Probably
well,
wasn't.
I mean, they're punching each other in the face with their bare fists, so I think they're going to have a lot more cuts, you know?
That's why people put on Vaseline. For anyone wondering why people put on so much Vaseline when they're fighting, now you know why. But yeah, that was on there. They had a crazy fucking slobber knocker. Artem Lobov won that one. And now, June 22nd, they're going to have another event. And that's going to be headlined by Artem Lobov against, was it Paulie Malignaggi? Paulie Malignaggi, right? Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi. They had some words earlier this week. They had some... Artem doesn't really have good luck with getting in people's faces, does he? What happened with Khabib? He got the whole, mafia... You better listen here, motherfucker. Hands to the side of the neck, and then he got slapped by Paul Malignaggi. Malignaggi. I don't know why I keep fucking up his last name, but yeah, he got stunned pretty hard.
Got
a bitch slap for a bitch, if you will, by Paul Malignaggi. Artem Lobov doesn't really have to. People don't like being in his face. People don't like being in his face.
No. And also, what do you call it? But you were talking about Malignaggi both times, right? You're talking about Khabib was the first time.
Because now that Jason, wait, what?
But you mean Artem though? Artem's has bad.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. No, but I'm saying like Artem, like that one time he was with Khabib and Khabib.
Yeah, he got smacked too. It was like it was a little slap last time. It wasn't really a smack. This time it was kind of a smack.
A little young man slap. Like, listen here, buddy. Don't you fuck with us. You know what we're capable of. But yeah, he never has too much good luck with that. But now that's gonna be a fight. I think it's gonna happen June 22nd. So that's another headliner, another thing for Bare Knuckle FC. That's gonna happen soon. Shouts out to them. Chris Lieben also got a knockout. What was it, a knockout or a TKO victory last night?
KO.
A KO?
KO, yeah.
A KO. Good for
Oh, yeah,
Chris
so the black...
Lieben.
Apparently this is an issue.
What?
With the black screen. So it's like a known thing. I think it's a hardware acceleration thingy.
You're looking that up. Oh, that's what
I was checking it out.
Okay. You're just...
Whatever, we'll figure it out.
doing something else while we're live. That's cool.
Hey, they're here. They're along for the ride, you know?
They are along for the ride.
All
Sorry.
right.
You guys got to stick
God
to
bless
it.
you guys.
Why am I following that guy?
Yeah, Chris Lieben with the KO. That was nice. That was quick. That was 25 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, dumb quick. I remember when Chris Lieben was destroying worlds.
He just ran through that, man.
He just ran through people back in the day.
Baseman. Why does it like E look weird there? You also had Chase Sherman. I think Chase Sherman was also in the UFC at one point.
Chase Sherman. Yeah, Chase Sherman was in was a light heavyweight.
Also Isaac Valley Flag was also a UFC vet.
Was he? I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Won TKO round 3. Yeah, you know what? I feel like
Johnny Bedford, I feel like was. Oh no, the lightweight. Yeah, Johnny Bedford, I think was also in the UFC. There's a lot of UFC guys.
Yeah.
In this.
Supposedly, they all say that they're getting paid better than they did when they were in the UFC.
It's quite interesting.
It's good to have this, the competition. But their faces, I feel like definitely gonna take more of a beating with the bare knuckle stuff. But maybe potentially less concussions.
Maybe. I mean, now that they have like that, I don't even know what it is. But I mean, if they're getting paid better by this like smaller organization, maybe that will then make the UFC start paying people a lot better because they're still getting fucking paychecks in the 4 figures for like one fight a year fighters kinds of thing. Like people don't have like a contract with them, and it sucks.
Beck Rawlings is a champ.
Yeah, she's like the women's champ. She's a Latin American and regular bare knuckle champ, I guess.
What do you mean Latin American?
She has a Latin American boxing like IBO or IBF belt, like a legitimate boxing match. Yeah, like it was the bare knuckle fighting championship and the IBO Latin American championship that were on the line. It was like a belt. She's a champ. Technically, she is a champ.
Good for her. Look at you, Beck Rawlings, doing
Public
things.
Relations. But yeah, unfortunately, we won't know until we see changes in the UFC and people start getting paid more. But I mean, what are the chances of that happening? It's like people have been talking about that for years. I mean, will that ever happen sometime soon? There, Shane.
What
you think? The UFC fighters getting paid what they need to get paid?
You know what? I think it's really going to be an issue until they decide to unionize, and I think the UFC is not going to allow them I mean, there's no such thing as like not allowing them, right? Because if the product that the UFC has are the fighters, and if there's no fighters, there's no UFC.
Yeah, right.
So if all the fighters come together and they say we're gonna make a union, the UFC can't say shit about it. But if you have a couple of company men and then a few outliers who don't really have any power, and they're saying, oh, we're going to unionize. Then that's where you get the situation with I forget her name, who was released by the UFC after her loss, and then
Leslie
she sued.
Smith?
Yeah, I think it was Leslie Smith.
Yeah.
She sued the UFC, saying that had something to do with the union, and she was unlawfully fired.
I thought that George St. Pierre and a bunch of other like UFC MMA fighters got together for some
there
sort
were a
of
few
like
things. I remember
thing, right?
Cody Dillashaw, TJ Dillashaw,
Cody Dillashaw.
There was that one. I think that was the same one with Leslie Smith. There was TJ Dillashaw, Cowboy Cerrone. I think Johnny Hendricks. They had all come together.
Yeah, but then that just like either dissolved or
well,
whatever.
TJ quickly changed his tune after he got the belt and started making more money.
Word.
And that's the thing, right? It's like when you're hungry and upset, it's there's a big difference.
When you're the one making the money, then
then you don't really give a fuck anymore, right?
I mean, funny enough when you think about that, it is kind of a selfish sport, I guess you could say, because it's one person making all that money. Sure, he's giving it to his camps and shit like that, but we said it before, there's a big price gap, and there's a big just price gap in general between the main event and let's say the co-main event.
Yeah,
and it's really apparent. But
well, you look at Amanda Nunes, the first fight with Valentina, she was sick and she decided she didn't want to fight. And, she explained part of her reasoning was that, there's a big difference between being number one and number two.
That's
true.
Those
paychecks, they throw an extra zero on there when you got the belt. So it's not worth her, risking losing it to, just to fight. You sacrifice it. Who knows? It's like maybe she has a deal where she's getting paid, X amount to show, X amount to fight, whatever. Maybe she loses that paycheck, but... that could potentially lose her a lot more if she goes and fights, sick and loses the belt. So.
No, that's true. And I mean, there's plenty of fighters, even fighters like John Jones, they've been really smart about fighting whenever it is that they get like a new opponent or there's like a slight injury or something like that. Because it's true. I mean, at the end of the day, they kind of got to look out for themselves, and their paycheck is what gets them everything. Do they even have? They don't give them healthcare, do they?
No. And they're considered independent contractors. And we were talking about a little bit earlier on the way here about the WWE.
Yeah.
Similar situation. They're all considered independent contractors, not employees. And I feel like, I think it's even a worse situation than WWE, because in WWE you've got these guys that are working for them, like 200 days a year.
300. Like 300
some of them 300, and
something.
they don't have any kind of benefits, any kind of. The UFC. I mean, I think they do take.
It's like
care
on
of
job
bills
basis.
It's happens
it's on the job and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Like
if they go and they like break their foot while they're in they're fighting that night. Then they'll take care of it.
But then if it's anything related outside of being there, they don't cover shit. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Stupid.
But there's a long history of organizations taking advantage of athletes. Look. Maybe like the NCAA is a good example of that.
Ugh.
These
Jesus Christ.
organizations making millions upon millions of dollars, and they're paying these athletes zero.
Yeah, man.
So it's.
I was talking about that the other week with I think my cousin, and like he watches the March Madness shit. That's all well and good, but then I just look at everything. I'm like, how much money must they make on this? Because ESPN is like straight up March Madness. That's where you go to watch all of these games, and like that's not fucking pennies. That's got to be a multi-million-dollar corporation or something like that, and it just all goes to the colleges and the Ivy League people that have tenure and run the colleges. That doesn't seem to make sense. What happens to some of these kids when they don't want to be basketball?
Those coaches are getting paid well, though.
What happens if they go to happens if they only go to college for 4 years and then after that they don't want to play basketball? Or they scratch that, like they don't get drafted, because it's not just like college players here. It's like, oh, you got like 30 or 40% of the college players here, they go into the NBA, like not even close. And then you have some people, they make all this money for their college after they're done. Let's say they get like not a mediocre job, but let's say a job that doesn't pay that much. What if they get a broken leg? What if they get a fucked up leg from like being in basketball and then like in doing all that shit? Who's gonna pay for that? Not the college.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all kind of a gamble for them. You know, they're going to put those couple years in college and play as hard as they can, and and then I mean, hopefully at the end of it, right, they get some multi-million-dollar contract playing in professional league. But
it sucks too, because even like when the fighters, even when like the athletes are done with the sport, when they retire, it's like the sport doesn't care for them either. They kind of don't get anything that they don't get any sort of help with, like, I don't know, any sort of like mental like issues they may have from taking so many shots, or like like football players when they're in their 50s and 60s started getting all of these like crazy side effects from like getting hit in the head so often. And then, you've been retired for like 20 years. Like, we don't know that this, has anything to do with us, even though it clearly does.
Yeah. Well, look at this. This is actually on the NCAA website. So if you look at something like, let's say, men's basketball. So if you're in the NCAA, chances that you'll be playing professionally at some, for some organization is 19%.
That's insane.
That's a lot less than the women's and in football.
That's even less than what I made fun of it for. I said it was like 30.
But that's just because they have, there's lots of leagues around the world. Yeah. Some people will go to Europe and play, or China and play. I think Allen Iverson at one point went to Turkey and he was playing. Mm-hmm. But that's that's less than a fifth of everyone going to the NCAA.
Some people just don't want to do it. Some people just like, I want to play basketball now, and then I want to be a doctor. I want to do what I came to college to do.
Yeah, for a lot of them, that's their backup, and it's good to have a backup. But then you look at major pro, which would be the NBA.
Yeah, right.
Only 1.2% of the NCAA of athletes in the NCAA go to the NBA.
That's crazy.
So imagine and then I guess how many people actually get into a Division 1 or 2 team in NCAA that get to even get that chance. So the percentage of the population that actually can become a pro athlete is so little.
That's
it's such a gamble.
It's so nuts. And it's crazy because it's like hundreds of thousands of people that try to be like these top athletes, and there's only one Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and they're all like different generations and stuff like that. And you also go to like the Tysons and the Alis. Like, there's so many great fighters, but there's only so many that people remember, and there's only so many that have like that were smart with their money, so to speak. Because it's also like, you're young, you get all this fast money, especially if you're like an athlete. You're just a different kind of human being. You're not gonna put it all away in a fucking trust fund. You're not gonna like do this and that. You're not exactly gonna be smart about it. And yeah, it just sucks because once their health gets in the way, totally fucks them up.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of I guess what might change, how the things work in like the UFC is if they were to potentially go public. And some documents came out.
You wrote that there.
About a week ago that are potentially pointing to Endeavor, the company that owns the UFC, to going public at the end of the year.
That's very interesting.
Now, if they do go public, that's a big one, because unlike a lot of the other major sports organizations, the UFC is private, so all their financials, everything does not have to be disclosed to the public. Sorry,
we have our neighbor moving around stuff, so apologies.
But what's it called? If they were to go public, then now they have to disclose all their earnings, what they're paying, to their investors.
That'd be a little crazy.
There's a potential for them to make a lot more money that way, but it does change things up. And that, who knows, that could eventually lead to, changes with how the athletes are paid. And
would they also get all their files and all their crap from like the past 25 years, or just like?
I'm not sure what the requirements are, but I'm sure they probably go back a little bit. That's got to be part of the
right.
Part of the situation, but
I mean, I think Dana's smart. I think if they even were to have used any money in any sort of way, like I'm the kind of person that believes like every and any business that is like worth millions or billions of dollars got there by doing at least one thing a little crooked. You know what I mean? Or at least stepped on one little guy. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just capitalism. Maybe the way like we're raised in our country or whatever like that. But I feel like by now, since they were involved with Fox for like 4 or 5 years, and they've been in the public eye for a little bit, I feel like he never did anything like that bad. Like
Dana White.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
think he ever did anything like like sell fights or like buy wins like they did in Pride.
Oh no, but I'm saying, but if you go to this guy's,
I don't think he was ever
go to this guy's Twitter and Instagram posts or comments, you're gonna see a lot of things that they're not gonna see in a public company. But here, so
he's a guy from
one
Boston.
of the fan or one of the
that's gonna be a big deal. Yeah, that might be a big deal.
One of the ones
too,
that people that don't want this to happen is Dana White. He says, "I've never been a fan of the UFC going public. Can you picture me running a public company? No, I can't either. Let's take some bets on how long I'll last in a public company. What's the over under on that one?" Right,
and that's crazy because he just signed a new 7-year contract. Yeah, so what the hell? This is interesting.
Well, he's gonna push against this as much as possible, I'm sure. But if the UFC does go public, I don't see him lasting.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, that is weird. And he just signed.
Now it's up to the shareholders. Maybe right? You have to make the shareholders happy. So if they're not happy, if they're seeing a guy, at the head of the company that's going on Twitter and calling people, retards or something, they're gonna say, I don't know, maybe this guy's not the right face for this company.
And if the shareholders are, nothing against Marky Mark, and Charlize Theron, but I think it could be some of WME's a talent roster, if you will.
Yeah, this was kind of funny too. Because speaking of this, so obviously Conor, I guess a week or so ago, retired.
Right.
And I think a lot of people can tell that it was a little bit of a ploy.
This fucking guy.
It was a little bit of a ploy against what do you call it? To work himself into getting what he wants, and what he wants is main event spots and percentage of the UFC.
He said that he didn't mind being in a co-main event, though. He mentioned that, I don't mind being in a co-main event, but he wants that equity money.
Yeah, I guess that's the biggest part for him.
What the
because that translates to money for him.
I wonder if you're not, what is it? He just wants to get more and more and more money. Now that after that Mayweather fight and after the whole thing with him and Khabib, those are the 2 biggest fights he could have ever made. And now, what's the next big thing he can do? What can make him 9 figures or 8 figures in one fight? That would be having equity in the company. I don't think he's gonna get it though. I think he's overplaying his hand once again. They've given him what he's wanted in the past, but I don't think the whole getting equity in the companies.
I think they've kind of grown out of the.
How would that affect how the company going public? How would that affect that whole scenario right there? He could still get equity.
Because now there's more people. What do you mean? Oh, him getting. Well, he could go if it goes public. He can go and buy it himself.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought. So also, so technically, this pays fair. This pays well. This pays well for him because he can go out and get.
Obviously, there's a finite number of stocks, so you can't go out and necessarily. I don't know what's going to be available and how much. I'm sure it's going to be expensive. So to buy himself in, it's
for $4 billion, right? $4 billion worth of stock.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not going to be $4 billion worth of stock, but it'd be based on a $4 or $5 billion valuation. I'm sure. So
right,
if you're buying. I guess quick and easy math. If you're buying, are
you going to tell me how stocks work right now?
Huh?
Are you going to tell me how stocks work right now?
No, but I'm saying if he's buying 1% of the company, then he's looking at
He doesn't really own that much
for
anyway.
$40 million.
I wonder what he wants. If he just wants to like get that money coming in, like, you know, just like every pay-per-view he gets a little bit of that cheese. If he wants that, or if he genuinely wants to run an MMA organization and like be there.
Connor?
Yeah, like I wonder what it is with him. If is it? I think it's just the money. To be honest with you,
money. Yeah, I don't.
But
think
like then it's like I don't know.
I don't think he wants to be the next Dana White. Although that would be funny if he was the face of a.
I doubt he could do that.
But I think the thing is, I think the UFC's kind of grown out of the McGregor era where it's similar to if you look like a Tito or Chuck.
No, that's true.
They were pivotal in bringing the UFC from one place to the next.
No, yeah, that's true.
And they didn't necessarily get what they deserve either. But
right.
Conor was that guy in that era as well. Him and Ronda Rousey,
right?
To name a few. But he was a big draw. He still has, he still has big draw power. 2 or 3 of the top 5, successful best-selling pay-per-views of all time. Yeah. So, obviously, but nowadays, the UFC's gotten to a level where it's that popular. They've sold the company. They have the giant deal with ESPN. They don't need him to fight anymore.
No,
obviously
they really
him fighting again is a lot of money, but they don't need him to fight.
I didn't think they needed him to fight for a little bit. Even like the whole Mayweather era thing.
Well, I think he had a lot more leverage back then. So now it's not nearly as much.
He doesn't.
But he could, we'll see what happens with him. But I think the PR nightmare for him that was last week not going to help in that situation.
Yeah,
part of that was, and this was funny, even though we're going to talk about some Twitter feuds, we didn't include this one, but this was funny that since Conor was kind of going on this whole thing about equity in the UFC, he kind of he targeted Mark Wahlberg because Mark Wahlberg is and a few other celebrities got a chunk of.
Oh, he called him an actress.
He said, "I've decided to challenge Hollywood actress Mark Wahlberg next fight, a fight for the shares. I'll smack him and his 4 brothers around."
That's fucked up. He's trying to say that a woman wouldn't be able to fight him fair.
It wouldn't be the first crew of brothers I've smacked around. I think he's referring to Khabib and his
Khabib and
team,
his brothers.
So that's kind of funny. But let's jump into some more Twitter wars that Twitter we encountered this week.
We have a new graphic
section we call.
You guys can check
Twitter
it out. Whoa.
All right, so this was a weird one, and this happened.
For those of you who are just listening to us, we have a new graphic where we pull up the actual Twitter posts. It's pretty cool. You should watch the show on YouTube. You'll like it.
Check it out on YouTube. Yeah. So all right, so let's go into it. So yeah, we have Wale and Dan Hooker. This is odd.
Oh man, this is a fucking rapper guy.
So we said, "Yo, Style Bender, let's do an action movie where I talk a bunch of shit and you sleep everybody and then talk a bunch of shit. The culture would appreciate it." So obviously he's just, he's out there just making a joke.
Yeah, and, he's just being a douchebag.
And I guess he's proposing like some kind of buddy cop kind of movie. Dan Hooker. I thought this was kind of harmless. He was just like, "Oh, what's a Wale?
What is a Wale?" Funny.
And then Wale responded, "Mind your business," and then proceeded to post
this guy
this unflattering picture of
Dan Hooker getting punched in the face by Edson Barboza, and Dan Hooker looking very uncomfortable about it.
So that was a little aggressive, and then. Dan Hooker said, 100% I Googled 100% I would fuck you up. And in all fairness, he probably would fuck him up because he's a professional athlete. And Wale says, "You wouldn't get one punch off, boy. Go make a creatine shake and mind your business, beloved."
Creatine shake? Beloved?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get that.
So, and then said, "Imagine you thinking my trunk don't open."
That was when I saw, I went on to Reddit and saw just a bunch of different people talking all that shit. It's like, wow, bro, really? Open up the trunk? And then everyone just started shitting on him, and then everyone realized that, Wale was trying to take back what he said.
He's like, "Oh, I'm just joking. Imagine." There was one. It was like, "Imagine you being that gullible."
Damn. Imagine y'all being that gullible. Damn. Oh, Wale.
Yeah. So
it's been a long time since the mixtape about nothing.
Who do you think won that fight?
I think Dan Hooker wins all fights. I think Wale loses all of them because he talks a lot out of his ass. I was on a photo shoot with him once. He wasn't exactly the most humble guy. He's very like, yeah. So I'll go with Dan Hooker just because I know Wale and he's kind of a douche.
Agreed. Ding. All right. Next up is Conor versus Khabib.
Oh man, Ali. Yeah, this got in.
This got really personal.
Yeah. And this is another thing that kind of upset me was just fucking Conor in general being like, I'm retiring, but wait, maybe not.
Yeah. So it started with crap. I think this one was out of order here. Anyway, so let's go backwards. A great feeling after 5 championship rounds. See you soon, my fans, very soon. And
that's when he had that photo of him winning the belt at defending the belt at MSG last year, I think.
And Conor said, "You got your money. You got your money back, and your brother's eye socket.
You got your money took, and your brother's eye socket shook.
Sorry, yeah.
When you fought me, you little rat.
Viva Las Vegas, baby. The gaff always wins. Big stomper party and win coming soon.
And hashtag proper whiskey. Hashtag win Las Vegas. Hashtag ad.
And then he responds, "Money comes and goes. The honor that you lost that evening will never return. Live with it. Finish career in MMA, but start career on Twitter."
Oh, no.
Hashtag Twitter.
Isn't that how it usually goes?
Yeah. I mean, so, and obviously this thing with Conor gets very confusing. The back and forth. And Conor says, "Don't be scared of the rematch, you little skirting rats.
I thought you were retired, fool.
You will do what you always will do.
You'll do what you are told like you always do." So. You're really bad at reading.
It's really small print.
Irish English for reading Irishman.
At least he's not Scottish. That would be unreadable. Ali jumps in. Oh, so actually, all right. So here we go. So I mean, this we don't have this right now just because Conor deleted a fair amount of tweets, but Conor goes on to insult Khabib and his wife.
Holy shit!
He posted a picture of Khabib's wedding, where he's with his wife, and I guess his wife had like a traditional, kind of veil thing over her entire body, and Conor said that
posted that photo with the comment.
Yeah, he posted the picture and said that you married a towel mate.
Oh no, that could have been misconstrued in so many ways.
Yeah, so a little insulting, obviously, to him and to his culture. So Ali, I think, who's also Muslim, jumps in. He says, "Talking shit, this guy's insulting someone's wife and making fun of her religion and belief. He doesn't realize he's insulting 1.5 billion Muslims. Religion and family is a no-no. You're fucked, Conor. Let's see what the media is going to say now. He's a rapist and a bitch."
Damn, called him a rapist and a bitch. He said he rapes people while being a bitch. That's really rough as a rapist.
I think, yeah, I don't know how that works. But
yeah, like, I'm not going to let you rape me if you're a bitch.
I'll keep your butthole tighter.
Damn.
Conor, I guess, this was the news that story that popped up the other day, where this Dagestani fighter, and I guess this is the third now that are Dagestani that are also, I think, might also be in Khabib's camp.
Oh no!
That they was popped for steroids. So Conor said, "Wow, another Dagestani caught abusing steroids. There's 2 out of 3 in this picture busted for steroid abuse, with the most recent being busted 3 times in a row." Oh yeah, that's right. That was that guy. He got banned for life, I think, because he got
that guy. Jesus, yeah, he got a lifetime ban.
Now with a lifetime ban. Excellent job, Jeff Nowitzki, UFC. The only vice that cannot be forgiven is hypocrisy.
Damn.
Well, Khabib's not very fond of Conor at this point, and he pulls out this
he
one.
Uncovered something.
So this picture, I think this existed for a little while now, but
called him a rapist. It's fucked up.
Obviously, you're familiar. Conor's been in the news. They've opened an investigation with him having been accused of rape, and
yeah, that's really weird.
He hasn't been charged with anything yet, but we'll see what happens.
It's weird, mostly because I know Conor seems to be very good at keeping his private life private. especially when he goes and parties and stuff like that. He really doesn't let people take photos of him.
This one particular he grabs their phone and smashes
with a lady.
But you saw that?
Probably.
Well, he actually, so his charges got reduced for that.
Oh, really?
The thing in Miami? Yeah.
Oh, how's that?
I'm sure he, greased a couple of pumps.
Yeah.
That's it. But I guess this hits two other stories, right? This is the one where he's accused of rape, but also there's a story that circulated, I think, like a year or two ago, where they said he was cheating on his girlfriend while she was pregnant.
Yeah, like a baby mama or something like that.
And there was also something that came out saying that
that was right around the time
pregnant.
That was right around the time Drake was popular with his baby mama. So I think it was a fad around that time. Everybody was lying about other people having baby mamas.
I don't, I'm not sure, but let's see what happens. But yeah, this is a picture, obviously, with Connor.
And I mean,
woman is that Connor? It looks like Connor.
It kind of, yeah.
It's the back of his head. So
yeah, it does look like the back of his head, and it looks like a shirt he would wear.
Yeah, he hasn't denied that this is him.
Yeah,
but it's a picture of him with this woman that is not his girlfriend.
And I think
he also has his hand kind of like on the inside of her thigh that you can't see right now because it's kind of
a little blurred out. Oh no. Mr. McGregor.
But yeah, and then he finishes off with, you think that in assaulting an entire religion be safe, you are not mistaken.
You are mistaken.
Oh, you are mistaken. Oh, if you think that insulting an entire religion.
Are you dyslexic, bro? What's going on?
Yeah, but I mean, that's broken English. If you think that insulting an entire religion you'd be safe, you are mistaken.
You are mistaken. This is number one bullshit. You have to talk like Khabib does.
Yes,
then you'll understand the tweets and read them.
I stay on bus. But yeah, he's not very happy. And,
it's getting personal now, and people are talking shit, and they're like, "Yo, this shit might be like," because talking about people's religious beliefs now.
Well, yeah, you can't. Now it's getting really personal, and it did get before. Now it's even getting worse.
I'm talking about nobody's kids now. You have everyone's kids out of this.
So
wives out of this.
Is Connor actually really all that?
I think it's all
for the cameras.
It's all. I think it's for the cameras. I'll be honest with you. I think it's for the cameras. I think it's
trying to get that
rematch. Show.
Still trying to
get that rematch. He's trying to get people's attention. They'll give him money if he makes enough noise. The UFC will give him money and throw money at him, like it's air. They'll find a way to get him that fucking rematch. They'll figure something out.
Yeah, but it's just getting annoying because at this point he's pulling kind of a Nate Diaz, where you're saying that you're not fighting anymore.
If they get him to do the trilogy fight with Nate Diaz, and he beats Nate Diaz, that's probably enough for him to get another title shot at lightweight.
McGregor versus Nate Diaz on Twitter.
On Twitter?
5 rounds.
What?
The winner gets all.
Twitter? Why Twitter?
Because they're the best at Twitter.
Why wouldn't they just make an event around it? Make more money.
Kidding. It's a joke.
Okay.
It's comedy.
Because they have, they have a means to make an event out of it. So
yes, they can indeed punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
I'm aware of this fact.
Yeah, they're fighters.
That's what they do.
Freelance, but fighters nonetheless.
All right, moving on.
Okay. Well, enough of that. Yeah. That was Twitter fingers for this week.
Yep.
Now back to our faces. Oh, look at this cool graphic. It went out. And now it's back on us.
Welcome back.
Look.
All right, so we're going to preview UFC 236, what comes up next weekend.
You get an interim title. You get an interim title.
Yeah,
everyone gets an interim title.
This is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier for the lightweight interim strap, and Kevin Gastelum versus Adesanya for the interim middleweight strap.
Before we get into that, I think they're going to have another press conference either this Wednesday or Thursday. I forget when. But it's one of those quarterly press conferences where they have all the main events coming up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For
so they'll probably have Jones, Santos.
That should be interesting. I'll have to see that. We probably have Ben Askren there next to what's his face.
Who's he fighting again now?
Who is he fighting against? Wow, I feel like an asshole right now. Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal. That's going to be
is that confirmed?
Yep, that is confirmed. I think they're just confirming them this Wednesday. It's one of those because they do this sometimes. They'll sign a bunch of main event agreements. They won't sign them. They'll have people verbally agree to them, and then they won't sign to them until the day of. And that's probably going to be for this whole conference that they're going to have at the end of this week. Should be awesome though. Should be kick ass. And also, I also think they're gonna announce it UFC 238 or 237. I forget which one. I think I want to say 238. They're gonna have essentially a bantamweight little mini tournament because I think Elijah Sterling is going against Pedro Munoz. Just, for just in...
Anyway,
just for, like, you know how sometimes they do that? Remember they had that little middleweight kind of like tourney?
Yeah.
Now they're going to have a bantamweight one, supposedly, at like 237. Not like an official one, but they're going to have, like, Aljamain Sterling versus Pedro Munoz. I think Jimmy Rivera versus somebody else. And then that's also when Henry Cejudo goes against Marlon Moraes for the middleweight title. So we'll get some number one contenders out of that, I'm sure. But let's move back over to UFC 236.
Yeah, so let's jump into
the early prelims.
Let's see what's going on in the early prelims. You got what do we got here? Brandon Davis. Brandon Davis was on he was on the Contender Series.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I don't really watch that too much.
Brothers with someone. Who was he brothers with?
Maybe Phil Davis?
No. They don't have the same name.
That's weird.
I'm pretty sure his brothers with somebody.
Are you sure?
Yeah, isn't he?
Maybe
is it Brandon Davis, or am I thinking of this wrong person?
Maybe you're thinking of
somebody
else.
I think I'm the wrong person.
Maybe you don't know anything about anything.
Maybe you should just shut your fucking cock holster.
I'm not the one. Damn.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so you got Brandon Davis, Randy Costa. Not really familiar with Randy Costa. See, that's another bantamweight, fight there. Lauren Mueller and Poliana Botelho. I think I've seen Poliana Botelho fight before.
Yeah, Poliana went against who'd she go against?
Was Lauren Mueller the one that was on the Ultimate Fighter?
Who she went against recently?
The Princess Tiger. Rare.
Eyes are dry.
Okay. Eric's dying here. Montel Jackson versus Andre Suck My Mouth. Another bantamweight fight.
What the hell did you just say?
What?
Suck my mouth. Sukumtad.
Whatever.
Sukumtad.
Whatever.
Andre Sukumtad.
We got Curtis Millender. He just had a win.
Just put eye drops on.
Right? Yeah. Oh no. That's right. He lost to Dos Santos. Right. The new up and comer.
Zaleski.
Isn't he getting a fight soon?
He's going against somebody welterweight. Fuck, was he going against a welterweight? I forget. I don't think they have him set up for anybody.
He's just kind of in the talks there.
Magny, there you go. Neil Magny.
Oh right, yes.
He's going against Neil Magny.
That's a good fight. That's a good up in competition, bro. But yeah, Millender just lost. I think Bilal Muhammad also just lost. Lost to Jeff Neal. So these guys are coming off losses, and one of them's gonna need a W. Muhammad's been around for a while. He always puts on a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's out of TriStar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think
he has that same similar style.
And then on the prelim card we've got
Max Griffin.
Whoa, wait, we got some more. We got these are a lot of new guys.
Boston
Salmon. Khalid Taha.
Well, that's not. Come on, Boston Salmon, really? What's his real name?
I don't. Right? Maybe it's
What's
a
his
stage
real
name?
That can't be a real name.
That's a fake name. Max Griffin versus Zalim Imadayev. Wilson Reis.
Wilson Reis.
In Portuguese,
the R is H.
The R is H, but if it's the first. Oh no, it is.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, it's.
No, but if it's the second one, then it's not. Is it?
Is that? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because it was like. The second R is different, I think.
Do you have an available example?
Like Ferreira. Isn't there a name like Ferreira?
Ferreira.
Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not Ferreira, it's Ferreira. So I think it's the second R in the name, then it's an R. Like
Touché, sir. Your point has been
proven. He's fighting Alexander Pantoja.
You do know enough about what you're talking about.
But Wilson Hayes is obviously a former title contender.
Jalene Turner versus Matt Trevola. There's a lot of newcomers here that I'm not really too sure of. I feel like I've seen them before, but maybe lost. A lot of them I've probably seen them lose.
And then Turner just won against Callan Potter in his debut.
Is this his second fight in UFC?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a second fight in UFC.
Won by KO in 53 seconds.
Oh wait, Jalil. I think I did see him. Jalin.
The tarantula.
Jalin. It's a horrible name, sir.
Damn, he's a 6'3" lightweight.
Jesus, that's always crazy to me.
Big ass dude.
Anybody that's like bigger than 6'2" and like weighs less than 100 and fights at less than 155, I think it's so weird. Like fucking Tim Means and what's his name? James Vick always freak me out.
Yeah.
The limbs are so long.
Both of these guys came off the Contender Series.
They look like they have scaffolding in their blood or something. It's weird.
Yeah.
They need to eat food. Get a wider frame. Get some more meat in your bones.
It's just part, you know.
You're the kind of guys that can throw a leg kick a little too hard and snap your legs in half. I'm sorry. It freaks me out. Fucking skinny.
Maybe that's why he's the tarantula. Long arms and legs. Eric's not a fan of spiders.
I'm not a fan of spiders. I hate spiders.
OSP's fighting Nikita Krylov.
OSP has come back and is fighting Nikita Krylov.
Why is this? Why does it say? Oh, because this was canceled. He was gonna fight Misha Cirkunov. That got canceled.
But that's when Johnny Walker stepped on a short notice and fought Misha Cirkunov and got that great win.
Oh yeah, OSP's coming off of a loss to Dominic Reyes, who also just beat.
Dominic Reyes, one of the new prospects, 11-0 in his MMA tenure.
No time. Why am I?
Volkan Ozdemir.
Volkan Ozdemir.
Volkan Ozdemir.
Who has a fight? I think he's.
There's a lot of O's and Volkans and Volanic and like Valexanders, so it's very difficult to keep up with everybody's name. To be honest with you, but yeah, OSP now fighting. Who was that again?
Circu. Wait, where are we?
No, you were back there. You didn't have it pulled all the way down. No, you didn't have it pulled down.
I was on the wrong tab. That was last.
Press more fights. There you go.
Oh no, I am.
Yeah, you were.
Okay. Yeah, he's fighting Nikita Krylov. He was gonna fight Serku Mishnikov. I was fighting Nikita Krylov.
That should be a good one, though. We'll see how OSP comes back from that loss, from that win, right? Oh no, he lost to Dominic Reyes. But we'll see how that goes. Beanie Siegel.
Yeah. What? Yeah. But it's the same
Siegel.
name?
Beanie Siegel, son. Beanie Siegel fighting
is taking a break from rapping.
Anybody who was a fan of the late 90s rap.
Is wrong.
Rockefeller Records.
Yeah.
Beanie Siegel will be fighting on this card, apparently, against Alan Jaboyne.
What was those movies? State Property?
State Property, son.
Yeah. If you haven't seen State Property,
I only saw one, but then the rest of them were like, meh. Even know what we do is wrong.
Alan Jaboyne is taking the night off from modeling to fight Beanie Siegel.
He's a good-looking guy. He gets punched in the face a lot to be a fucking model, but he gets it done, though.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he turns to sexy
on. I wonder if he kept the
turns on the hands of stone, huh?
I wonder if he kept the cauliflowers. Is that a turn on, or is that like a bad, like the girls like that?
I think he drains that shit. I don't think so.
My
wife hates it. My wife thinks it's gross.
I feel uncomfortable looking at it.
My wife thinks it looks like a fetus growing in your ear. I'm like, yeah, guys get drained.
You know what? Now that you say that, it does resemble a fetus.
It looks like a coiled up little like fetus before it gets his eyes and nose and all that stuff. A 6-weeker, if you will.
Yeah.
It's like you got a 6-weeker up in there in your ear, just growing out of your ear in a weird alien-like cocoon.
Eric's a part-time midwife, so he knows a thing or two.
I've seen some things.
Yes. Eric Anders and Khalil Roundtree. That's a good fight.
Eric Anders. I like Eric Anders.
Sling some leather.
Yeah, man. I like Eric Anders. Khalil Roundtree is probably a little bit more technical than him, but Eric Anders always puts on a good fight, puts on a good show. He was the guy who last said he had not worked out that much or been that tired since his wedding night. So
that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
God bless Mrs. Anders, wherever she is out there.
Khalil Roundtree is Johnny Walker's latest victim. But
yeah, he was.
That was a really surprising win over Gohan Saki, though.
Yeah,
that was.
I mean, that's what got him up there, and that's why everyone thought like, "Holy shit, Khalil Roundtree's coming out of nowhere." But then Johnny Walker did his thing.
Yeah, and Eric Sanders coming off a loss to last at Theodore. A lot of guys coming off losses on this card.
Mm-hmm. I noticed. I noticed that too. I mean, it should be very interesting. Very interesting that a lot of people coming off of losses.
Comeback.
Yeah, remember the comeback trail right behind the interim title co-mains.
Yeah,
which
Kevin
brings us over
Gastelum
to our first co-main.
Adesanya.
Kelvin Gastelum and Israel Adesanya.
The more I think about it, I was kind of shitting on Gastelum getting the shot.
I was shitting on him too.
But
just repeating what you're saying.
Wow. But he kind of deserved it, really. Yeah, I guess. When it came down to him and Weidman, I was like, maybe you should have gone to Weidman or gone to Jacare. But, I look back and I was like, no, you know what? It kind of, You give there's so many trades and wins and losses in the top of that division.
That's why like middleweight's in a weird spot right now because they're like
everyone's fought each other pretty much.
Yeah,
except for Adesanya. That's why he's kind of a breath of fresh air there.
The only person who hasn't lost to anybody else but has lost to the champ twice is Yoel.
Romero. Yeah,
Romero. He's literally beat anybody who's like gone up against him.
But now he's fucked up. I think he got the case of pneumonia.
Yeah.
Recently, and now he's out of his fight with Jacare. So Jacare's going to be fighting Hermanson.
The only guy to beat the next champ so far is Kevin Gastelum, funny enough, and Israel Adesanya. Like, cause I'm just thinking about like the middleweight division and how it looks right now.
Yeah.
Because the last person to beat like 2 champs is I think Gastelum now. Next to Romero, he beat Chris Weidman, and then he knocked out Bisping. He lost to Weidman?
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. The middleweight division's so weird. It's very
so
up
weird.
and down.
That's why Weidman was campaigning for it so hard. But he lost to him in Long Island when they went to...
I mean, right now, if they're going to cut anybody in line, right now is the best time for them to cut Israel Adesanya because, like you said, I mean, he had a good showing against Anderson. He hasn't lost to anybody like that. He hasn't lost to anybody.
It's a really quick rise for him.
Yeah. I mean, what better way to make him to keep him on that rise and to keep him riding that ride steady, but like put him in the fucking interim title fight?
Yeah, well, it's a good test for him. Kevin Gastelum's got a wrestling background, so to have and styles make fights. So Kelvin, I'm sure, is thinking, I could take this guy down. That's what I'm hoping, but it's gonna be a real test for Adesanya to see if he could actually stay up and
because Gastelum has like a lot more tools than everybody gives him credit for. People forget that he knocked out Michael Bisping.
His hands are pretty good.
People forget his hands are great. Actually, it's just the fact that he's like smaller. He finds a way to get into the pocket, which is what Adesanya always tries to keep
he's a smaller guy, arms.
It's such a crazy because they're both They both I mean, Gastelum is definitely a wrestler, but they can both be known as strikers now, and their styles are very different. Adesanya always keeps a distance and does all these like radical, crazy strikes and shit, and Gastelum always gets inside there and does like fucking haymakers, boxes up a motherfucker. So. It's going to be definitely an interesting fucking fight. And it's definitely not like, one person is out of the other person's league. This is going to be a close fight. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Gastelum won. I wouldn't be surprised if Adesanya won. But if either one of them won by, like, knockout or totally, like, makes the other one look like a fool, that'll be real surprising. Like with, like, Holloway and Ortega. That was totally out of left wing. I didn't think Holloway was like that eons ahead of like Brian Ortega's skill. But if something like that happens with Adesanya or Gastelum, it's gonna be like, whoa, this might be the guy that runs the division for a bit. I think this will be the tough fight, or at least the next guy to make the Whittaker. Next tough fight for Whittaker. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if Whittaker's fight against Romero.
It all depends on how whoever wins. If, like, this is a slobber knocker and if this is, like, a very big back and forth, then it's kind of like, maybe Robert Whittaker has, like, a test, but not, like, a big test.
Well, I mean, his last fight was very close with Yoel, and I think that might be a blueprint for anyone else that's going to fight him now because now they see what worked and what didn't. Although Yoel's a physical freak, so it might have something to do with that. But
what about he got pneumonia? That's why, remember, he had to get out of his, if we're talking about the middleweight division right now, they had to switch up, I think, UFC on ESPN. Excuse me for that. UFC on ESPN4, which was Jacare and Romero, but I think Romero got like pneumonia, so they had to get him out. And now Alexander or Alex
Hermanson.
Is
it Alex?
Like he was on the co-main about a week ago.
Yeah, he won.
Hermanson. Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, beat David Branch.
He beat David Branch
via I think that was like a arm and guillotine.
No, he fights at middleweight. I thought he fought at light heavyweight because of David Branch. David Branch is middleweight. What am I doing?
But he was a light heavyweight in World Series of Fighting. He was the 2-division champ.
Right. Yeah, that's why. But no, I thought they both fought at light heavyweight when they fought a week ago. But no, he's middleweight coming off of a big win, David Branch, and I guess a very last-minute replacement. Hey, why the fuck not? We'll see what happens. On the ground, he seems to be good. He'll give Jacare some problems, but no, whoever wins the
interim against the Gator.
Yeah. But whoever wins that interim shot with Gastelum and Adesanya, they definitely deserve it, and they definitely will prove a test to Robert Whittaker.
Yeah. And then on the main event.
Oh shit!
We've been waiting for this. This is a rematch of a fight that happened. I don't even know. Was that 5 years ago or something?
This was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Holloway versus Poirier. One. That was rematch. What was the original one? I'm trying to. 2012. So 7 years ago.
7 years in the making. My goodness.
Holy crap!
That's the first time.
That was really that
Max,
long ago. Holy
it was
shit.
Max Holloway's first fight, and I think Dustin Poirier's like 3rd or 4th or something like that. Dustin Poirier beat Max Holloway in a pretty close fight. I kind of remember that fight too. I remember like Holloway throwing crazy shit in the first round. It was like children.
Yeah,
like
they were
young boys.
23 and 20.
Like 20 years old. Fucking A, man. Kids. But yeah, man, they went in there.
Yeah,
I remember Max Holloway.
Poirier has a longer reach than Max.
Max Holloway put up a good fight in the beginning of the rounds. And then in the second round, Poirier got Max Holloway to the ground and then just got a fucking submission on him. Which is crazy because now Max Holloway is the one that like puts submissions on people when they're on the ground. It's almost like this fight taught him like, listen, you got to learn some shit on the ground, bro. You got to get like a black belt or you got to like get some jiu-jitsu going. After Poirier submitted Max Holloway in this, Max Holloway never got submitted after this. And his ground game got better. Everything about Max Holloway got better.
Yeah, I think he's got an amazing takedown defense.
Everybody's talking about him being the best featherweight of all time, surpassing Aldo. Even though he doesn't have the same tenure as Aldo did with the title, everybody's still like Max Holloway's like the fucking best and shit. Right now, if he beats Poirier, he'll have the interim lightweight strap. That's still a strap. It's still a strap in the lightweight division. So does that technically make him the champ? Not the undisputed champ, but I guess it does still make him champ, no? If Holloway wins it, right?
No, well, I mean, yeah, it would be the interim champ. So technically, it'd be a champ. But
yeah, the champ interim champ.
Wouldn't have it wouldn't be the undisputed champ.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, not only that though.
But that gives him the next shot.
Right, but not only that though. With what was I gonna say? But yeah, on the other hand though, you have fucking Dustin Poirier, who's been fucking at this shit now for like years. He's been at this for like
he's been grinding towards
8 years now. 8 years now. He's been trying to get this fucking title shot. He's been trying to get something going on.
Well, I mean, that fight was 7 years ago. He had already 3 fights in the UFC at that point. So yeah, around 8-9 years he's been fighting the UFC.
Yeah,
that's a long time. When you think about some of these guys, you go back and you're like, damn, they've been in the UFC for 9 years,
dude. Yeah, man. They just had like the win-loss record, or they just.
But sometimes it takes them a long time to stack up enough wins to get to the point of challenging for a title. He's there.
I put up a video earlier last week showing highlights of Poirier since he had lost to Conor McGregor. UFC took it down, cocksuckers. But maybe I'll put it up later this week and show you guys what exactly we're missing. Technically, he's as they call the violent weight champion. You remember they had Justin Gaethje and Eddie Alvarez fight each other for that title because they were both the 2 most violent guys in the lightweight division.
They beat both of them.
Yeah, it's Eddie Alvarez won that fight between him and Gaethje, but then he beat both of them. He fucking slugged both of them up like crazy.
Funny note about Gaethje, he's the first fighter to ever win a performance of the night bonus in their first 5 fights.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. He's only fought in the UFC five times?
I think so.
Jesus, that's crazy.
And he's won a performance bonus for each and every one of those.
That's $250,000. Jesus, that's $250,000. You got $250,000 off of like 5 fights, which is bad.
Fights. No, pretty decent.
What's up? I mean, hey, shout outs to the fuck, I forgot his name, and his name is cool too. The highlight. Justin Gaethje. The highlight. The highlight reel or the highlight? I think it's just the highlight. But yeah, shout out to him. 5 fucking first fight bonuses. That's not fucking bad. It's pretty crazy. But yeah,
so
we'll see what happens.
We're gonna have a nice little matchup there between Max and Dustin
Double
Poirier.
co-main, 2 interim titles on the line.
This is gonna be a stack.
It's really interesting though. No, yeah. Regardless if it's an interim belt or not, both fights are really interesting. Adesanya versus Gastelum.
I was gonna say stack card just because of the co-main to main. Actually, the rest of the cards a little weak, but when you got 2 title fights, it's
Max Holloway. I want to see Max Holloway fighting him, bro. I don't care.
I'm watching it. I'm watching
exactly. Max Holloway is going against Poirier. People shit on Poirier, man, or people like sleep on Poirier. Look at his fucking highlight reel. Look at the fights that this man has been in. He beat Edson Barboza and Gaethje back to back. No one's ever done that. And if you know anything about fighting and you know who Gaethje and Eddie Alvarez is, you know that that's a big fucking thing.
The one blemish I guess, would be the knockout loss to Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It was like a weird...
Oh, yeah.
He just got a flash KO.
Yeah, that was like a weird flash KO kind of thing. I mean, that happens, but he came back from that, and he beat everybody decisively. It wasn't even like That's the thing, too. It's not like he just knocks people out. He, like, outboxes people. Works them.
He's been learning from...
Outworks them, too. That's why, like, that's why it's another very interesting fight between Poirier and Holloway, because they have somewhat similar styles where they just outwork their opponents. They put them into deep waters, and they just keep fucking fighting, and they keep throwing like straight lefts, straight rights, and eventually take them out. The way that Holloway beat Ortega and Aldo is the same way that Poirier beat Gaethje and Alvarez. This could be like a fight of the year. That'd be crazy.
This is gonna be violent.
Yes, it'll be crazy. It'll be good.
So if you enjoy blood and violence, then you should tune in on Saturday, April 13th at 10 p.m.
Word. Word.
Anything else you want to talk? There's one thing that I did. Should have talked about earlier, Bare Knuckle FC, but it is actually a little upsetting. Is the fact that I don't know if you saw, but the president of the Bare Knuckle FC came into the ring after one of the fights, because I guess it wasn't that action packed, and he said that and there's one guy, he's more of a counter striker, so he wasn't really as active in the fight, and he said that he was going to take half of that guy's purse and give it to the other guy.
Wow, what?
Now, they didn't actually do it. And they later explained in like a Twitter and like an Instagram post or something, said that, he just wanted to hype up the other fighters on the card.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
And by hype up, I'm sure they just mean make them scared that they're going to lose their fucking...
No, I get it, but that's still fucking stupid. You don't talk that shit.
I don't think he can actually do that.
You can't do that.
But that's really, I feel like that was really fucked up for him.
That was a little fucked up. I don't know. I don't like that idea. Like, I get it, and we live in like that whole McGregor era where you got to talk that shit to get that fight, to get the ratings and all that shit. But don't take people's money. Don't fuck with like if I was that fighter, I probably would have hopped in that fucking octagon right then and there, fucking held him by his tie. Like, you better give me my full fucking salary, motherfucker. I bled for you. Fucking broke up my hands for your ass and this crowd. I mean, I get it. There are some people who like maybe don't fight as well as they should, but regardless of that, they still got shit to pay for. They still got all these bills. They still got their fucking training camp. That's the shit that they live off of until their next fight, until they decide to mangle their bodies and shit like that. And I'm not saying it's like, it's up to them, like what jobs they do and whatever it is that they choose to do with their lives. But regardless of that, you don't fuck with someone's money when you tell them like, this is the agreed money you're getting. Like, it's different if the guy totally threw the fucking fight and just stopped fighting. Then it's like, all right, you kind of don't deserve all this money. But when it's like somebody, they like clearly went in there and they're trying to fight, and they're trying to like, one, they're trying to fight, and two, they're also thinking about their longevity. Because that's what also goes through a fighter's head when they're eventually in there for like 15 minutes, pacing back and forth with this guy, and they're both tired. They think about like, all right, what can I do now to keep myself from fighting in 6 months rather than fighting in 12 months? That's what you start thinking about, and like you want to get less hurt. You want to like
look at
you want to keep yourself from getting put on the shelf for too long.
And you posted the the clip of Iaquinta after that fight in his Boston or something, and he had a cloud of boos coming from the crowd, and he was rightfully upset. And
yeah, I mean,
he's like, "Fuck you guys."
The crowd is definitely like the crowd will say what they
entitled
want.
to their opinion.
Yeah, they're definitely entitled to their opinion. But like, hey, so is he. He got on the crowd. He's like, you better not boo me.
You wouldn't see that happening in Japan.
No, you would not see that happening in Japan.
They're very respectful of fighters.
You would not see that happening in Japan. Get it together, America. Come on, get it together, America.
But yeah, I think that's I think that's about it. We're gonna have a lot to talk about obviously next week after this card. I'm sure there's gonna be fireworks. So
we're still gonna be working on little tweaks here and there for the.
And we'll promise we'll actually be on time next
YouTube.
Week.
Yes, we'll try our damnedest. I'm gonna say try our damnedest because I don't want to promise anything. We'll try our damnedest to be on time next week. But for now, this is the second episode that you guys can catch on our iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch it or you missed some of it or you want to listen to something while you're on your way to work or something.
There we go. It's over here.
Yeah, go right ahead.
It's a 3/4 guard. It's not all one word now. It's spelled out anyway. 3. Is that a dash or a slash?
Yeah, it's a dash.
It's to dash.
Although I don't know, maybe you can. You might just be able to type it without the dash.
Well, 3/4 guard, 3-quarter space guard. For any of you out there listening and who actually want to listen to us throughout the week, and if you want to tell some of your friends about our podcast so they can listen to us, that'd be great too. We'd really appreciate that. But now we're going to be on more platforms just so we can get a bigger audience, and we'll see how that does.
You can search it without the slash too.
Oh, nice. You could search it without the slash too. Just put in spell out 3/4 guard. You'll be able to find us.
With no spaces, whatever you want to do.
Are you showing it to me or are you showing it to the camera?
No, just show it to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't care. You can show it to the camera.
All right. Well, here, if you want to search, you can search for, I don't know, you can see that. You can search for 3/4 guard with a space, with no space, with a dash, no dash, whatever you want.
Boom. There you go. 3/4 guard. Now you see us. We'll be posting more on that on our Instagram and on our Twitter, and we'll probably be a little bit more active on our social media accounts. I always say I do it, and then I do it for like a day or two, and then I lay off. But I'll do it this time for sure. Put some stories up, all that good stuff. And, next week, UFC 236. Two interim titles. Tune into that. We'll be talking about it on Sunday and whatever happens this week. But until then, I am the aforementioned Eric.
I'm Shane.
We'll see you guys later.
Peace out.
Don't text and drive. Tip your waitresses. And remember to lube up.
Yeah, that's a good,